thank you. It's Cubs opening day, too. The first pitch is going to be thrown out right here at 12:35 on WGN.
And joining us now are Cubs announcers Len Casper and Jim Deshaies. Hi, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, it's great to be here, and it stopped snowing, believe it or not. A nice wintry mix, as they call it here in Pittsburgh. But, J.D., it looks like we're ready to go.
Yeah, it's going to be a sellout crowd here in Pittsburgh. Temperatures will be a little chilly, but the wind is down. The snow has stopped for now, so it should be a great day for baseball. Opening day, it's like the first day of school without the homework, isn't it, Len? There's all the excitement in advance of a whole bunch of days. They're going to kind of look and feel the same, but there's always something special about that opener.
Yeah, it really is the National Baseball holiday, and I know the Cubs are excited to get it going today.
So, let's be honest, the Cubs had a rough one last year. What's the general feeling for this year? Can we, we're always hoping.
Well, this team should be better. Anthony Rizzo will be here for the entire 6 months. Jeff Samardzija should be able to pitch a couple of 100 innings. Remember, he got shut down in early September, but they're going to need a lot of guys to have career years.
Yeah, well, the general vibe is it's opening day and it's optimism. All things are possible in baseball, but yeah, they come off a 101-loss season. The fact that Matt Garza is hurt doesn't help. I think that the easiest or best way to fix a bad club is with starting pitching. And if you looked at a front three of Samardzija, Garza, and newly acquired Edwin Jackson, that stacks up pretty well in the Central Division. So they got to get Garza back, got to get healthy, and got to hang in there. This first stretch of the schedule is pretty tough.
And Darwin Barney officially put on the disabled list today with a laceration in his left knee. Unfortunately, he suffered that injury in his final inning of spring training.
Oh, yeah. That's a tough one. So you mentioned the first part of the season is going to be a tough one. What are some of the teams in the Central Division that are going to be most competitive?
Well, the Reds bring back everybody, basically. I think they're the team to beat. The Cardinals have a lot of pitching. They should be able to score runs. Milwaukee also has a good offense, and that Kyle Loesch deal pretty intriguing here late.
Right. The Brewers' rotation a little vulnerable, but adding Loesch to that mix behind Giovanni Gallardo makes the Brewers a tough club. This team here in Pittsburgh, despite the fact that they haven't had a winning season in 20 years, folks around here are fairly optimistic about their chances. They got some boppers in the lineup. They should score runs, and like so many teams in baseball, it will depend on how they pitch, but I'm with Len. I think the Reds are the class of the division.
And we've heard the term the Cubs way being mentioned over and over again. What exactly does that mean in terms of baseball, and has it started to take hold?
Well, that's a great point. I think everything that's being taught at the major league level, from base running to defensive shifting to batting mechanics, all the terminology they use here with the big league players, they're using in AAA, AA, single A, and you go all the way down the line. So I think it was really important to come in, and Theo Epstein and Jed Hoyer and Jason McLeod, to really get everybody together from top to bottom in this organization. And so when you start to see a AA club play and you don't know which affiliation it is, you'll say, that looks like a Cubs team to me.
Well, yeah, and I think the principals involved would say we're not trying to reinvent baseball. We're not changing the way the game is played, but we just want to make sure all our guys through the system are approaching the game the same way in terms of where they play defensively on the field, how they handle cutoffs and relays, bunt defense, plays like that, and their approach to the game. Theo talks a lot about the player meetings they have, with the player plan. They let all their minor league guys know what is expected of them on the field and off the field, and I think that the goal is to get that from the top all the way down to the lowest guy in the minor leagues.
Well, listen, I want to thank you both for joining us, and congratulations on your new partnership. We hope it lasts a long time, and go Cubs.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. Coming up.
It's time. Opening day is here. Cubs Pirates, 1:30 East on WGN America. The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
Cubs are in Pittsburgh to open a season for the first time since 1978. It's game one of the 2013 season. The Cubs and the Pirates here on WGN Sports. And we welcome Cub fans from all over the country watching on WGN America, America's home for baseball. Happy opening day. Along with Jim DeShays, I'm Len Casper, and the Cubs knew going into last year Starlin Castro, probably Darwin Barney would be a part of this nucleus. We found out at the end of last year Anthony Rizzo is going to be a big part of it as well. Yeah, Anthony Rizzo with a very impressive Cubs debut last year in 87 ball games. He hit for a high average. He hit 15 home runs, drove in 48. The on-base slugging numbers look good. So as a fan, you look at that and say, okay, he's going to play a full year this year, so just double it and put it in the bank. Easier said than done. You know, all about sophomore slumps and teams making adjustments, but Rizzo does look like the kind of guy who can settle in and put up very good numbers for a good long while. And another guy part of this core, the opening day starter. Hard to believe. A year ago we wondered if Jeff Samardzija could be a full-time starter. He's now the ace. Yeah, and he certainly has earned it. He pitched very well the second half of last year. His earned run average the second half of last year, 5th best in the National League. 2 starts at this ballpark last year, 2-0 with an ERA just over 1. Should be a good matchup on the mound. Samardzija in his first career opening day start. Same for A.J. Burnett at age 36 for the Pirates. The Cubs open their 138th season in the National League. For the Pirates, it's year number 127. We'll get it going next.
Get more. More priceless moments. More adventures. More lovable animals. Get more. Bucketheads, British biting and kangaroo confrontation, baby blubber, freak accidents, ostrich races, mascot mayhem, local violence, hydroplaning, hammock havoc, airborne animals, athletic accidents, goofy golf, and kitten chaos. Get more of what you love. 3 full hours of America's Funniest Home Video starts tonight at 7 on WGN America.
Heartburn, it's too late for Prilosec. It takes at least 24 hours for full effect. But it's never too late for Zantac. Its fast-release acid blockers relieve heartburn in as little as 30 minutes. No pill works faster. When heartburn strikes, try Zantac.
Olive Garden's new lunch combinations. Choose from new calzones and sandwiches. Go handmade, go oven-baked. Serve with unlimited super salad. So many lunch combinations starting at $6.95 when you go Olive Garden.
Do we have a mower?
No.
A trimmer?
No.
We got nothing.
We just bought our first house. We're on a budget.
We're not ready for spring.
Well, let's get you ready. Very nice. You see the various colors. We got workshops every Saturday.
Yes, maybe a little bit over here.
This spring, take on more lawn for less.
Not bad for our first spring.
More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Get planting with package seeds. Now buy one, get one free.
Chicago Cubs baseball brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer or go to shophonda.com for current offers. And by AT&T. Find out what's possible with products and services from AT&T. Rethink possible. Chicago Cubs baseball in high definition on WGN TV is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Great to have our good friend Dan Roan with us. He is down on the field with more on today's Cubs starter.
Hey, Len and JD. Yeah, this is Jeff Samardzija's first opening day start, but it's not his first season opener here in Pittsburgh. Back in 2005, he was a junior wide receiver on Notre Dame's football team that opened its season across the street at Heinz Field against Pittsburgh. In that game, Samardzija caught 3 passes for 134 yards and a touchdown as Notre Dame won in Charlie Weiss's first game as head coach, 42-21. So we've got that going for us today. I don't know what A.J. Burnett's background is. I don't know who has the pitching edge in terms of starters today, but I'll guarantee you Burnett never caught a touchdown pass across the street from PNC Park at Heinz Field.
That's good stuff, Dan. And by the way, it doesn't feel that cold up here. Now, we're much closer to the sun than you are, but is it a little windy down there today?
It's a little breezy and it's swirling around the ballpark, so it should make it tough for the defensive players. But in terms of temperature, it is so much better than it was 2 hours ago. It's not even funny. You couldn't see across the field 2 hours ago. It was snowing so hard, and now the sun is shining fairly brightly. So all in all, not a bad day for baseball.
All right, thanks, Dan. And this is a gorgeous setting for baseball in a packed house here at PNC Park, and this actually canceled Cubs batting practice this weather earlier as the Pirates were hitting.
Yeah, we had about 10 minutes of a wintry mix, then it turned to rain, then it turned to straight snow for a while, and then the sun came out. It's been a very bizarre day weather-wise, but as Dan pointed out, right now, not too shabby.
So hopefully the sun will stay out for the remainder of the day. Right now, some partial cloud cover, but let's take a look ahead at a WGN movie preview.
Because a great shot is a hit to the crotch or a ball to the head on AFV. It's always funny when it happens to someone else. AFV every night at 7 on WGN America.
Cubs making a roster move a couple of hours ago. Unfortunately, Darwin Barney, who suffered a pretty deep laceration on his left kneecap, had to take 5 stitches, so he will start the season on the disabled list. Alberto Gonzalez with his contract selected, and it was probably the worst place, the only place he could suffer that sort of cut, and it would put him out for a couple of weeks. Let's hear Darwin on what sort of timetable he might be on.
They say stuff like this takes time. Takes time to heal. So we need the laceration to actually close up before they're going to allow me to bang my knee around. So, I mean, a routine ground ball up the middle, if I go to my knee to backhand it, it could be bad. So that's kind of the placement of the injury is more of the problem than the injury itself.
So the Cubs disabled list to start the year. We expected Scott Baker to be on that list coming off Tommy John surgery. Matt Garza still coming back from the left lat injury. Darwin Barney again with the left knee, and Ian Stewart with the quad injury was unable to get into a Cactus League game. So with Barney out, Brent Lillibridge will get the start at second. Heard Dale talking earlier today. It's not going to be Lillibridge every day necessarily. He'll just mix and match.
Well, yeah, because Lillibridge is such a valuable guy to have on your bench because he can come in and play a lot of different positions for you. So that's what you give up when you put Lillibridge in the starting lineup. So Alberto Gonzalez will get some shots over there at second base. And that's just the nature of sport, the nature of baseball. One man's misfortune is another man's opportunity. Stewart couldn't answer the bell due to an injury, and Valbuena is going to get more playing time at third base again this year like he did last. An opportunity now for Lillibridge and Gonzalez to play a little bit at second base, and just have to kind of roll on and play through it. Unfortunate break for those guys, and particularly Barney, when it comes at the end of spring training and it's kind of a freakish accident. All the work you've done in the winter, all the work you've done in spring training, you get so geared up for that opening day assignment, and boom, you're shut down for a couple of weeks.
And before the Pirates take the field, we want to remind Cub fans, if you'd like to manage the game along with Dale Swaim, log on to WGNTV.com right now and click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner to connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and information while watching at home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape, pools, patio sets, play sets, hot tubs. That sounds good on a day like this.
Hey, let's get one up here in the booth. That's a novel idea.
And more. So the Pirates take the field, trying to snap a record streak of 20 consecutive losing seasons. And let's look at the Cubs batting order, brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Of these 9 guys, 6 making their first career opening day start. DeJesus had a great spring. Castro, Rizzo, Soriano, Nate Scherholtz. Always good numbers against the Pirates as a member of the Giants and the Phillies. Wellington Castillo behind the plate. Luis Valbuena at third. Lillibridge at second. And Samardzija, the pitcher, with 2 homers in spring training.
How about a look at the Pirates defensively now? Speed in the outfield, in particular center and left with McCutchen and Marte. Garrett Jones over and right. Infield third to first goes Alvarez. Barmas, he's very slick. Walker. Gabby Sanchez is your first baseman, and newly acquired Russell Martin. A significant upgrade behind the plate for the Pirates, especially in terms of defending the running game. And, of course, A.J. Burnett, the veteran right-hander, takes the ball for Clint Hurdle's Pirates here on opening day. 16-10 last year with a 3.51 ERA. A real resurgent year for Burnett coming over from the New York Yankees. He made 31 starts. Good solid numbers for Burnett. He's got a power arm, still throws pretty hard, 92, 93 miles an hour with pretty good sinking action on his fastball. Good hard biting curve. And every once in a while he'll throw a straight changeup, but mostly fastball, curveball from AJ.
Now the umpires, one thing about being a crew chief, you get to work the plate on opening day. So that's Tom Hallion's charge this afternoon. Ron Culpa's at first, Phil Cuzzi at second, Chris Guccione is at third, and unlike spring training, they will not rotate unless something weird happens. And we will not see pitchers jogging on the warning track in the 6th inning.
And we won't see very many guys come into the game with number 97 on their back who have no idea who they are.
Well, you ready?
Let's go, man.
Year number 138 for the Chicago Cubs in the National League. David DeJesus in his second year as a Cub will lead it off. Cubs went 8-8 against the Pirates last year. Alvarez in on the grass at third, and Burnett ready to go, and we are underway.
DeJesus coming off a solid year in which he had 263, but with a 350 on base percentage. Among the best leadoff on base percentages in baseball. Had a very good spring training.
At one point he had a 14-game hitting streak. That's low, 2-0. One thing he will always do, unless he decides to ambush somebody, is take a lot of pitches in this game opening plate appearance.
Yeah, it certainly makes sense here, right? You got a guy on opening day out there on the mound who's full of adrenaline, might have a hard time finding the strike zone early on. Didn't have to be. And that's exactly the point David's making with Tom Hallion. Borderline low, maybe in, but Burnett gets the call. 94 miles an hour with that two-seamer.
Martin's setting up shop off that inside corner, and that ball is lined foul.
Hey, it's snowing again.
Yeah, just a few flurries.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Now, I don't know if it's snowing on the field, but it is where we are atop the ballpark.
Yeah, in some ballparks we might think, well, it's just some confetti or paper falling, but there's nobody above us and nobody higher than we are here in Pittsburgh.
Going in again, and that one's tapped foul. All teams are wearing a patch today in honor of those victims in the Newtown massacre, and a moment of silence before the game. Very emotional moment here and all around baseball. Another 2-2, called strike 3. Certainly not an unhittable pitch, but the most David could have done with that is probably fouled it off.
Trying to go inside again. It's a fastball this time up in the zone over the heart of the plate, and Tom Hallion with one of the more emphatic strike 3 calls in baseball. Brings up DeJesus. So Burnett stays fastball throughout that entire AB.
So now Starlin Castro, who continues the longest active games played streak in the entire National League, 197 now and counting. He played in every game last year.
And I suspect that will be the plan this year as well. Always going to that back pocket for the seeds. Good numbers off Burnett, 6 out of 13 in his career.
Wide open stance. Fastball is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Starlin entering his 4th year. He turned 23 on March 24th. On the outside corner. Well, Burnett's been able to hit his spots here in the 1st inning. He hit his spots against the Cubs last year at Wrigley Field. He took a no-hitter into the 8th inning in a 5-0 win on July 31st. Breaking ball, base hit. So Castro with the Cubs' first knock of the season.
No surprise, Castro, if he stays healthy with all the plate appearances he gets, is always a candidate for 200 base hits in a season. Instant feedback for Burnett on his breaking ball. The first one he throws is whacked into left for a base hit.
Anthony Rizzo with his first career opening day start. 15 homers at this level last year. 23 at AAA, and he drives this ball out into deep right center, and it will go. The back of the bleachers out there in right center. Rizzo did not homer in spring training, and it took him 1 pitch in the regular season.
That's a savvy veteran move for a young player to save that first bolt until opening day. I was just getting ready to say, with these cold temperatures, it sets up as a pitcher's day. First pitch to Rizzo, and there was no doubt about this one. My goodness, does he put a charge in this. And you talk about feedback, look at the reaction. He knows as soon as he makes contact that thing's leaving the yard.
That one almost ended up in the river.
May have on the bounce. There's only been one, to my knowledge, in the history of this ballpark that has flown into the river on the fly. That was Darrell Ward some years back with the Astros.
So a quick 2-0 first inning lead. Soriano with a ground ball that'll be picked up by Neil Walker for out number 2.
So if you haven't finished your fantasy draft yet, you might want to grab Rizzo. He's looking pretty good for him. He's on a pace to hit 162 home runs.
Now the new Cub Nate Scherholtz signed as a free agent in the offseason. Member of 2 World Championship teams in the San Francisco, even though he got traded to the Phillies last year. And a called strike. You and I have talked off the air about this lineup, and I think we both agree that this 5 spot occupied by Scherholtz and occasionally Scott Hairston may be a real important part of the lineup as he dumps one out of the left center for a 2-out hit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, 5 hole in the lineup is a place where you expect some power, some run production from, and Nate has not really ever had the chance to settle in and be an everyday guy. So there have to be some question marks as to what kind of production you're going to get from him. But when you look at the lineup, there is no real better option. So a lot riding on the performance of those 2 guys, Scherholtz and Hairston.
The catcher, Wellington Castillo, an awkward swing on a breaking ball for a strike.
And that's been primarily fastball so far here in this inning. And Castillo thought he was going to get one, and that swing was kind of an afterthought.
Kick in the 0-1. And that went right back to that breaker, and this time Castillo laid off.
Yeah, the swing he took at the first one. As a pitcher, you see that, you know, okay, let's try that again and see if he's just not seeing the ball well.
There goes Sherholtz, and a ground ball right to the first baseman, Gabby Sanchez, to end the inning. But Anthony Rizzo, on the first pitch of the season with a 2-run blast. Cubs 2, and the Pirates are coming up.
Why is Kellogg's Crunchy Nuts so delicious? Because every flake is double toasted, splashed with sweet honey, and covered in rich double roasted peanuts.
Yummy.
Kellogg's Crunchy Nuts. It's super delicious.
This engine's got some juice. How far do you want to take it?
Up to you. Chevy Cruiser's 6-speed transmission allows for lower shift points, offering an EPA estimated 36 mpg highway.
Okay, then. What a test drive.
Yeah, it's really more of a road trip at this point.
Yeah.
Chevy MPG Ingenuity. Now get this great sign and drive lease on a 2013 Chevy Cruze LS for around $199 a month.
Golden Corral just made the weekend better than ever. It's our $12.99 premium prime rib and shrimp weekend. For a limited time, it's endless prime rib. That's right, all you can eat prime rib. It's also non-stop peel and eat shrimp and so much more. It's our premium prime rib and shrimp weekend only at Golden Corral.
Domino's makes pizza fast, 30 minutes or less. Hot, fast, cheesy goodness.
Domino's used to be all about speed. Not anymore. We're slowing down to make our handmade pan pizza the right way, taking longer to hand press the fresh dough into the pan, adding not 1 but 2 layers of cheese. And we had to slow our ovens down to get that golden crust on the bottom of it. It does take a little bit longer to make, but it makes all the difference.
Try a handmade pan pizza with 2 toppings for just $7.99.
You are getting hungry.
Let's get the Pirates starting lineup written out by their manager, Clint Hurdle. They're very excited about Starling Marte, the youngest player on their roster. He'll lead it off. Garrett Jones, a Harvey, Illinois native. Andrew McCutchen, an MVP-type season last year. Alvarez, Sanchez, and Walker in the middle. Martin, Barmas, and Burnett, the veterans, at the bottom.
Let's take a look at the Cubs defensively. Brought to you by Toyota. Soriano de Jesus, Sherholtz in the outfield, Valbueno, Castro, Lillibridge in for Barney, and Rizzo on the right side. Wellington Castillo is behind the plate for Jeff Samardzija. 9-13 last year with a 3.81 ERA through 28 starts, the last of which came here in Pittsburgh in September. He threw a complete game.
And then was shut down, just shy of 175 innings, but the reins have been removed this year. 95 on the gun, and ball 1 to Starling Marte.
95 is his average velocity from last year, among the best in all of baseball. Just David Price among starters better. Samardzija is going to feature the power game as well. Fastball, slider, real good split finger pitch. He'll cut his fastball in on the lefties.
Well, he kind of downplayed this opening day nod. I think everyone can understand he'd be a little amped up pitching on opening day for the first time. I think especially for a power guy who occasionally tries to muscle his way through innings. It would be nice to get through this first inning and then hopefully he can settle in.
Yeah, and there's that velocity we talked about with Strasburg and Price, both fractionally better than Samardzija. I just have to locate it.
3-2 on Marte.
That's the beauty of a power guy, right? Most starting pitchers are vulnerable in the first inning because you come from a bullpen mound to the game mound, especially in a road ballpark. And sometimes it takes a while to you kind of lock in your location. But when you throw 95 miles an hour, you tend to get away with more mistakes than a guy who's throwing 90, 91 miles an hour.
And he walked him. We would love to hear from you. We're reachable in many different ways. Len and JD at Tribune.com. You can find us on Facebook. And we're very active on Twitter as well. And Garrett Jones, who's playing right. He was their opening day starter in right in 2010 and 11. Last year, got the nod at first base, and he looks at strike one.
Jones, a guy who doesn't walk much, but he brings home run power to the plate in that 2-hole. 27 bombs last year, and this is a good fit for him. He swings and misses at a lot of breaking balls out of the zone, so you put him in that 2-hole with in front of him and dangerous hitters behind him, and Clint Hurdle probably figures he's going to buy his guy some fastballs. Cubs play an extreme shift for Jones.
And a ground ball. Can they turn it here? Lillibridge with a bobble, and he can't get anybody out. And a good job by Luis Valbuena with that drastic shift that JD mentioned. I think Marte thought about heading for third before Valbuena raced over there. So that'll be an error on Brent Lillibridge.
Now you can see the alignment with Castro joining Lillibridge on the right side of the infield, and Lillibridge trying to be quick there, thinking too, trying to be quick with his feet, never got the handle on the ball. And unfortunately for him, his first chance of 2013 does not pan out. Now, big opportunity here for the Pirates with 2 on and nobody out for McCutchen.
One of the best players in the game today, Andrew McCutchen. And they overshift the other way against McCutchen, and he bounces one just wide of third.
This has been the trend in baseball the last couple of years. You've seen more and more managers go to extreme shifts. It used to be maybe just a handful of guys in the league that you put these shifts on for. Mark McGuire, players of that ilk. But you know, with all the information that they have, we're seeing more shifting than ever before.
McCutchen has always been a Cub killer. Last year was an all-star, won a Gold Glove and a Silver Slugger award. That's low and outside. Well, we are featuring run expectancy this season. That is not how many runs, but if a team will score in a certain spot, first and second, no outs. Last season, Pirates were just about at league average. Cubs pitchers gave up a run 68% of the time in this spot.
And when you're a guy like Samardzija, you don't want to give up any runs, but if you're Dale Swain, the one thing you're trying to avoid here is a big number. I think if we're playing let's make a deal with Bob Barker and he said to Dale, would you take 1 run and get out of here in this inning, he'd say absolutely. And my guy started with a walk, then we kicked it around a little bit. We set the Pirates up for a big inning. If we can get out of Dodge, having allowed just the 1 run and my pitcher kind of settles in, we'll be good with that. Trying to crowd McCutchen, one of the real pure tool, 5-tool guys in the league. There's a breakdown on Samardzija from last year with runners on versus bases empty.
And a ground ball. Valbuena, Lillibridge can't turn it. McCutchen able to beat it out. So first and third with 1 out.
You're not going to get McCutchen very often on an around the horn double play with 2 long throws to make, even when the ball is sharply hit. He just has too much speed.
So it'll bring up Pedro Alvarez. Only Chase Headley hit more home runs among all National League third basemen last year. Alvarez with 30. Very late swing, and that one rattled around the Pirate dugout.
Alvarez does not get cheated. He strikes out a bunch. He takes a healthy cut, and a guy who had really struggled for a couple of years with, you know, a lot of expectations on him
And really didn't get much done, but last year he came through in a big way in the power department.
So a good lead there by McCutchen as Marte is dancing off third. And a called strike. 0-2. We should remind fans who maybe missed it in spring training. With this situation, runners at first and third, a right-handed pitcher cannot do that patented fake pickoff to third, fire to first. You've got to step off the rubber. If you don't do that, it's a balk. It looked like McCutchen was leaning.
Yeah, this situation here with the left-handed hitter, Samardzija likes to go split finger pitch, try to bury that ball down in the dirt. That's a little riskier proposition, of course, with a man on third. He may take a shot way up in the zone, see if he can get Alvarez to chase a high fastball.
Off the plate outside. Jeff fidgeting with that long mane. But he never cuts it, so it's not as if it's annoying enough for him to do anything about it.
Just a tick. It's just right. Got some karma hidden in there. He needs to reach for every now and then. Looks like the splitter there, and Alvarez able to lay off. But not a bad try. You get the jump on a guy like Alvarez who gets paid to drive in runs. It's worth it staying out of the zone a couple of times, try to get him to chase, and he almost did. If his hair is long mane, would you call mine low mane?
Yeah.
No, I guess that would be no mane.
No mane, right.
Castillo wanted that inside fastball, that up and in. A lot of left-handed sluggers have a hole in there. A lot of guys that can't handle the pitch. The best left-handed hitters realize they can't handle the pitch and learn to lay off of it.
Two, and he got him. Looked like the splitter. And a big second out.
Yeah, either a splitter or backdoor breaking ball, something that kind of ran back and down on Alvarez, inducing a very ugly swing. Anyway, his body was leaking. It looked like he was looking hard in again, and just really got fooled by that off-speed pitch from Samardzija.
So now it's Gabby Sanchez, the first baseman. Now this would be a nice escape job to get out of this with no damage. And possibly no hits. A walk and an error is setting up the inning. Sanchez came over at the trade deadline from the Miami Marlins last season. One ball, one strike. Well, it has turned into a lovely day. It's cold, 41 at game time, but lots of blue skies above.
Given the forecast for not only today but for the week here in Pittsburgh, I think everybody's got to be pretty pleased with the way things have turned out so far.
Wind blowing out toward right, not very hard. Just off the plate on a cutter.
Yeah, if the wind just doesn't pick up, it should be halfway decent. Again, this weather tends to favor the pitchers. Of course, they're the most active guy. They can handle the cold a little bit better than the position players, especially if they're out there standing in the field for long stretches, long innings. Makes it tough to stay warm for the position players.
McCutchen runs on the 2-1, and it's tapped foul off the end of the bat. This
situation here where you don't want to forget about McCutchen altogether. But if you're a guy like Samardzija, a power guy capable of striking people out, you've got 2 outs in the inning. You want to focus, all your attention on home plate and just retiring Sanchez. The likelihood that you throw out McCutchen is pretty low anyway. So you don't want to get too distracted by him over there at first base.
Not running, and a swing and a miss. So Samardzija strikes out Alvarez and Sanchez to get out of the inning, and the Pirates strand 2.
This is America. We don't let frequent heartburn come between us and what we love. So if you're one of them people that gets heartburn and then treats day after day, block the acid with Prilosec OTC and don't get heartburn in the first place.
One pill each morning, 24 hours, 0 heartburn.
He's a fighter, all right. Since Affleck is helping with his expenses while he can't work, he can focus on his recovery. He doesn't have to worry so much about his mortgage, groceries, or even gas bills.
Yeah, feel it. Nice work.
Affleck's going to help take care of his expenses. And us, we're going to get him back in fighting shape.
See what's happening behind the scenes at DougTherapy.com.
I chose Comfort Medical for the simple reason that they seem to be the only company that really heard what I was saying and sent me the right type of device that I needed to help me. They interfaced with my doctor and the insurance company to make sure that I got what I needed. There was no out-of-pocket costs with Comfort Medical. Comfort Medical definitely aided me in the decision on which direction I wanted to go in for the catheter that I use.
Comfort Medical carries a wide array of male catheters. Call today for free samples of catheters that may be right for you, including the discreet men's pocket catheter. Call now and we'll send you a free comfort kit with your first order while supplies last. Call right now.
They seemed very key to what my true needs were, and they actually listened to me, which gave me the confidence I needed to change my life. I truly believe it's a home run.
Call now for free samples and a free comfort kit. 1-800-718-8943. That's 1-800-718-8943.
Law and Order Criminal Intent, today at 5.
Cub fans, make sure you check out Len and JD's baseball blog at WGNTV.com. It is sponsored by Jeff Vukovich, your nationwide insurance agent serving the area for 34 years. To join the nation, contact Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. JD has a great post about being happy to be here. I have a post on Jeff Samardzija. We've got lots of photos from this beautiful ballpark, game notes, and our appearance on Instant Replay with Dan Roan last night. Check it out. Cubs lead 2-0, an eventful first inning. And ball 1 to Luis Valbuena. On the eve of opening day last year, he was claimed off waivers from the Toronto Blue Jays. And eventually, when Ian Stewart went on the disabled list, he grabbed the lion's share of the time at third, and here he is on opening day.
Swaim really likes his glove down at third base. The question is, how much can he give you offensively? I don't have the spring numbers in front of me, but just watching, he had a lot of good at bats in spring training. Took a lot of pitches, worked deep counts.
He was a little bit ahead of the curve because he played in 51 Winter League games in Venezuela. Hit over 300. Burnett's 2-1, and that's a pitch he used to use a lot more. That kind of rising four-seam fastball.
Yeah, kind of works underneath the ball a little bit. And, earlier in his career, not so much last year. Last year was his best year in his last 4 or 5, but early in his career, he really struggled with his command.
Has never been a very comfortable at bat. You talk to a lot of opposing hitters, they don't really love facing A.J. Burnett.
I used to rush it up there 97 miles an hour, some nasty movement. You're a no-hitter while with the Marlins and walked, what, 8 or 9 guys?
9.
Yeah.
One off the record. 10 walks. Jim Maloney with the Reds at Wrigley Field. Although that game went 10 innings back in 1965.
Wonder what his pitch count was.
Well, he got 30 outs. He walked 10, so at least 70. Called strike 3 to get Valbuena.
A little two-seam runner back to the inside part of the plate to finish off Valbuena from Burnett.
Well, with the real Brent Lillibridge, please stand up. You look at his last 2 years. It could not have been more different when you look at his offense. With the White Sox 2 seasons ago, he had 13 homers in 97 games, slugged over 500. Last year, combined with 3 teams, that's what you see, 195.
A little tardy on that first heater from Burnett. Need to dial it up a notch.
Burnett from North Little Rock, Arkansas. The Mets took him in the 8th round of the 1995 draft. Sounds like a long time ago.
Whoa.
Well, that's why guys don't love facing A.J. Burnett.
That's why I don't think this is by design. He's trying to throw that ball out away, but again, the good run he gets on his fastball rides in towards the chin of Lillibridge. But that's always a good pitch early in the game to push a hitter off the plate. Not only do you get his attention, but everybody in the opposing dugout.
Nasty curveball.
Yeah. Hey, don't miss opening day at Wrigley Field. The Brewers are in town. It's next Monday. That's April 8th. It's a 1:20 game, and the first 30,000 adults who happen to be lucky enough to be 21 years of age and older will take home an official Cubs magnet schedule. To purchase your tickets, we suggest Cubs.com.
Now Samardzija homered twice in spring training. Cubs leading 2-0. Right? What's that?
He's a football guy. You should enjoy this weather, right? This
oh, yeah.
Pitch, hit, do it all.
Well, as we get going here in 2013, we want to remember 2 very important members of the Cubs organization who passed away over the winter. Jimmy Farrell, Wrigley Field umpire room attendant, starting in 1982. One of the nicest human beings we've ever met. And we think about Jimmy all the time. And Tom Pratt, longtime pitching coach in the Cubs farm system for the past 14 years. So we want their families and friends to know that we're thinking a lot about them as Samardzija fouls out of play. And that is the front page, the first page of the Cubs 2013 media guide. Two balls, 2 strikes on Samardzija. And Burnett strikes out the side.
Open up to a fresh new world of taste at McDonald's. Introducing the new Premium McWrap. A blend of tender, juicy chicken and tantalizing fresh veggies in 3 captivating flavors. More than enough to pull you in.
Cherry berry chiller?
The new Premium McWrap. A whole new way to love McDonald's.
Dove Men Plus Care presents How to Prepare for the Big Dance. Step 1. Remember the fundamentals.
Over, under, around.
Step 2. Don't let your opponents psych you out. And step 3. Go back and study the film.
Nice job.
Thanks.
Dove Men Plus Care. care for what matters.
My mother made the best toffee in the world. It's delicious. So now we've turned her toffee into a business. My goal was to take an idea and make it happen. I'm Janet Long, and I formed my toffee company through LegalZoom. I never really thought I would make money doing what I love.
We created LegalZoom to help people start their business and launch their dreams. Go to LegalZoom.com today and make your business dream a reality. At LegalZoom.com, we put the law on your side.
Olive Garden's 2 for $25 is ending soon. A 3-course dinner for 2 with new choices like Tuscan garlic chicken. Grab a friend and go now before it's gone. 2 for $25 ends April 7th. Go Olive Garden.
How I Met Your Mother tomorrow at 8
what your mom said.
on WGN America.
Is it getting any better than this?
Cubs baseball is brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
The Allegheny, when the Three Rivers meet here in Pittsburgh. Anthony Rizzo, 1 pitch, 2 runs in the first inning. A long home run estimated at almost 440 feet to give the Cubs the lead. Switch hitting Neil Walker taps one foul. How about Bryce Harper? 2 at-bats, 2 home runs.
Giving Rizzo something to shoot for.
One more to Tuffy Rhodes. That was 19 years ago, right? 1994.
Dog Gooden?
Yeah. Washington with a 2-0 lead over the Miami Marlins. A lot of other early action. We'll keep you posted as we move along. Red Sox leading the Yankees 4-0 in the 3rd. Both the Mets and Yankees opening in New York today. One and 2 on Walker. Had some back problems late in the year last year. And a base hit out in the left. That's the Pirates' first hit.
Pretty impressive swing of the bat there by Walker to get on top of that high fastball and hit it with some authority. Samardzija, this is not a miss. They're intending to go up. You see Castillo up out of his crouch calling for that high fastball. We talked about how so many left-handed hitters have a hole up and in. That ball wasn't really in, but way up, and very difficult to do much with that pitch.
Now Russell Martin, who's signed as a free agent in the offseason, blocked by Castillo for ball 1. He caught A.J. Burnett a couple of years ago with the Yankees. So they had a rapport coming into the season.
Martin didn't hit for much average, but he did hit 21 home runs for the Yankees.
Shows bunt.
He's capable. He'll drop one down every now and then. Of course, everybody hit 20 home runs for the Yankees. It's unbelievable the way the ball jumps out of the new Yankee Stadium.
Interesting headgear around his neck.
Yeah, you don't see many guys rocking the hoodie.
Snap toss to first. You'll see that a lot from the Cubs catchers. Castillo and the new backup Deanna Navarro. Saw it a lot in spring training.
You just want to tighten those guys up. Every once in a great while you'll catch a guy leaning and pick him off, but you know, it's that, but it's also just a willingness to go down there to shorten that secondary lead a little bit. Could be the difference between a guy scoring or not on a ball in the gap.
Samardzija will fire over. Walker back on his belly. The Pirates did not have a very good year in the stolen base department last year. finished last in the National League, but they also had the most caught stealings, 52. Lillibridge will take it, one away.
Yeah, they were not successful as a running team, and they were also horrible defending the stolen base. You know, Rod Barajas, who was the main catcher here, threw out 6%. Mike McHenry, who was the backup and is on this club, a little better than Barajas, but that was a big problem for them, and that's part of the reason why Russell Martin is now a Pirate. Clint Hurdle, 10th season as a manager. This is his 3rd year with the Buccos after a long run with the Rockies.
There's Clint Barmas, the shortstop, and he takes ball 1 high. The Pirates, the last 2 years, have had just bizarre seasons. Looked like both seasons they were going to break the streak, and then late season collapses ultimately would put them under 500. 79 and 83 last year.
Finished 16-36 or something like that. It's unbelievable that it happened to them 2 years in a row. They had leads in the division midsummer each of the last 2 years, and there's the combined over the last 2 seasons after August 1st. Month by month, last year, 5 games back on May 1st, but you see July 1st they'd moved into the lead, 42-36, and then it just started to go downhill. If it was roller derby, they could have cut off the jam. They said, that's it, we're done, season over. Doesn't work that way.
Swing and a miss. 1-2. The stuff is not exactly the same in terms of repertoire, but you've got a couple of power pitchers here today, and they're getting swings and misses early on. Samardzija and Burnett.
Who will be able to sustain the stuff? You always worry on opening day because of the anxiety. There's a lot of nerves. A lot of times a pitcher will hit a wall earlier than he would otherwise. You get that burst of adrenaline, all the nerves that come with it. Don't know how well these guys slept the night before, and that applies to young guys, old guys. You know, there's something special about opening day. There's always a few extra jitters.
Short right, could be trouble. It drops, but it's foul. Just foul. Ron Kulpa went out to make that call.
Pirate faithful not happy. They're booing the call, but Kulpa right there had a good look at it, and you'll get an even better look at it here in slow motion. It's fouled by at least 6 millimeters. Take a look at Jeff Samardzija, and people might argue, well, he's not that young. He's 29 years of age, but in terms of innings pitched, look where he stacks up against some of his contemporaries, guys that are his same age. He's got a young arm. Because of the work in the bullpen, he has not, had a lot of experience as a starting pitcher. You see Billingsley up over 1,500 innings total. Matt Cain as well.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Well, Clint, you were that close to a double, and you end up with a punch out. And again, the sweeping breaking ball from Samardzija gets the job done. His 3rd punch out, all swinging.
That'll bring up Burnett. Walker led off the inning with a single. He's still at first.
AJ did not do much to help himself at the plate last year.
2 quick ones. Starting to sense some momentum with interleague play throughout the season, that eventually the National League will have the DH. I hope it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not a big fan of that idea.
As Samar just strikes out Burnett to end the inning. Single, no runs. 2-0 Cubs after 2.
Aha! Someone read my post about that new bakery place, right?
No, it is a grilled chicken on flatbread from Wendy's.
Wendy's? Oh, wow. Yeah, hold it up. Show me a little more chicken, a little less face.
Oh.
So have to tweet it.
Or we could eat it.
Introducing flatbread grilled chicken from Wendy's. Warm grilled chicken on toasted flatbread in 2 bold new tastes. Food worth talking about from Wendy's.
Now that's better.
And we're open late.
Tonight, WGN America is giving you a taste of CW's hit show, The Vampire Diaries.
Go grab some lunch.
The Vampire Diaries, tonight at 11 on WGN America.
The Chicago Cubs baseball summer camps offer children ages 5 to 13 of all abilities the ultimate major league experience for 7 one-week sessions in various Chicago area locations. Join fellow teammates for a week of top-notch baseball instruction, exclusive access, and unforgettable moments. Go to Cubs.com/camps to sign up your future Cub today. Cubs leading 2-0 on an Anthony Rizzo first inning home run. Along with my new partner Jim DeShays, Mark Brady, Skip Ellison, Doug Stanton, Bob Vorwald, Dan Roan. Great to be with you here to start the 2013 season. And you will be spying on us all season as well.
You know, that shot reminds me of like we're doing the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Yeah. And here comes Snoopy down 5th Avenue.
We'll see Rizzo in this inning. Cubs will have their top 3 hitters, starting with DeJesus.
He struck out first time up, got rung up on a borderline high fastball. Ironically, he went 40+ ABs in spring training without striking out. Respect his bunting ability. They pinch at the corners. Outfield play him pretty much straight away, as you would defend a guy like DeJesus, because that's his strength as a hitter. He hits the ball to all fields.
He's not a guy who will try to lay down a lot of bunt hits, although he's a very good bunter. He has won the first 2 Cubs spring training bunting tournaments. The backfields down in Mesa.
It's time every now and then for a guy like DeJesus to cheat on one. I think he was taking all the way there, but if you earn that reputation as a guy that takes counts, and then you find yourself 2-0, 3-1, you got a guy like Burnett who's going to challenge with the fastball. Not a bad idea to try to get the head out and try to inflict some damage. Take a big swing.
Curve for a strike. It's a spiked curve. Burnett throws. 2-2. And David went around. That is 4 straight strikeouts now for Burnett. 5 in the game.
He had 180 strikeouts last year and a little over 200 innings pitched, so he's capable. This time the breaking ball's a little tighter, a little harder, more of a slider than the curveball he threw to the back door to the outside corner. This time he buries the slider down and in, and DeJesus not able to check.
Castro with a single and a run in the first inning. April batting averages are fun, aren't they? He's hitting 1,000. And the averages will vary wildly over the first couple of months.
Yeah, we used to always joke if a guy got a hit to start the season, next time up, if he got a hit, he'd be hitting 2,000. Doesn't work that way.
Well, the team leading the world in the standings, the Houston Astros. 213 losses the last 2 years combined, but they're 1-0.
Yeah,
beat the Rangers last night.
Very nice opener for the Astros. Inaugural game in the American League. A solid performance from Bud Norris. Center fielder Justin Maxwell had a big day with a couple of triples. And Bo Porter gets his first managerial win at the big league level. Don't let him in there.
Ground ball, base hit. So I think he's hitting 1,000, although now you've messed me up.
Yeah,
with
he's
the
hitting 2,000 now. Our AT&T U-verse replay. It's Anthony Rizzo. First pitch he sees of the 2013 season. A no-doubter.
Good lead by Castro, and Burnett will check on him, being assisted by Dave McKay, the Cubs' second-year first base coach.
So you see a little bit of the difference in the philosophy. Close there at first base on Castro. Dale Swain, if he's got a left-handed hitter up that he thinks is a pull hitter, a guy's going to pull the ball on the ground, he'll play his second baseman towards the hole. It looks to me like Hurdle's cheating Walker a little bit more towards double play depth as opposed to taking away the hole. He's got Barmas shaded up the middle. He's playing strong pull, but Walker not so much. Trying to hedge their bet a little bit. And that gives Rizzo a little bit more room to operate with on the right side. If he were to hit the ball on the ground, he's got a little room on that right side. Whereas with nobody on base, Walker's probably playing him another step or two on the pull side. And there you see the alignment with Alvarez off the line at third. Barmas shading towards the bag, and Walker not straight double play depth. They're not playing strong pull either.
Continues to be pretty close over there. And 2 balls, no strikes. Castro last year stole 25 bases, but he was caught a major league high 13 times. Fouled off, 2-1. So let's see. So Rizzo is slugging 4,000.
4,000, yeah.
On this cold day, Burnett with a short sleeve undershirt. Castro takes off. The pitch is a strike, and the throw is late.
Picked a good pitch. You got a breaking ball. And you see the break here. Burnett that time not employing a slide step through a breaking pitch, and that made it that much easier for Castro, who got a nice jump to steal this base. If that throws right on the bag, I believe he's still going to beat it.
Meantime, 2-2 to Rizzo. Here it is. And he got him. And half a dozen now for Burnett. We're only in the third inning.
He's back to that down and in slider, similar to the one he used to punch out De Jesus.
Soriano grounded out his first time up. With 30 games without a home run to start last season. How about this? Andrew McCutchen didn't hit his first homer until May 8th. For Soriano, it was May 15th when they both would hit over 30 home runs.
It's that old cliche, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They both finished awfully strong and clearly would love to see a little more production in the month of April. If they had, they'd be flirting with 40 bombs. Tough to hit though in April, it's cold.
Soriano with 2 years left on his 8-year contract. At the time, it was the 5th most lucrative contract in Major League history prior to 2007. Going to throw behind the runner Castro, and Walker at a certain point was just trying to keep that ball out of center field.
Castro has clearly gotten the Pirates' attention with Burnett making all the throws he made over to first base. Now Martin takes a shot at him. And to sneak in behind him is Neil Walker, who's playing Soriano to pull, so he's well positioned to creep in there and try to make a play. Always dangerous when you see that head first slide back into the bag. You got an infielder trying to block you off with his knee, and you go in hands first. You're always worried about a broken finger.
And he slid head first in on the stolen base as well. 2-0.
Didn't have to be. But it was. Pitch tracks by Infinity. Shows that curveball dotting the inside corner at the knees. It's classic pitching there, isn't it? He'll pick a little something off the breaking ball to slow the bat down and then bust that high fastball by him upstairs. And he's got Soriano in a position where he's got to contemplate both of those offerings. Has to defend against them both. Can't sit on anything here with 2 strikes.
Runner at second, 2 outs. And a 2-2. And they get him on the breaking ball. 7 strikeouts for Burnett. 2-0 Cubs.
These Mr. Clean guys, they're like a clean team.
Did you see Mr. Clean disinfecting bath cleaner killing that bacteria yesterday? Just flaunting it?
And did you see the magic eraser clean up that crazy kitchen mess? It was like super dirty, super clean. How?
Wish I hadn't. What's that amazing smell?
It's Mr. Clean with the amazing scent of Gain. Wow.
You know, if I had a team, you'd be on it.
Our mascot could be a Cleanosaurus Rex.
You're off the team.
Dirt and grime have nowhere to hide with the Mr. Clean Clean Team on your side.
Olive Garden's 2 for $25 is ending soon. A 3-course dinner for 2 with new choices like Tuscan garlic chicken. Grab a friend and go now before it's gone. 2 for $25 ends April 7th. Go Olive Garden.
Many women may not be absorbing the calcium they take as well as they could because they don't take it with food. Switch to Citracal Maximum Plus D. It's the only calcium supplement that can be taken with or without food. My doctor recommends Citracal Maximum. It's all about absorption.
After we stay 2 times at a hotel, who wants a free night? Free night! Free
You ask for free, we give you free. Right now, when you book at these Choice Hotels, take 2 separate trips and you can earn 1 night free. Book now at choicehotels.com.
The all-new Malibus are getting a lot of attention at your Chevy dealer lately for good reason, like Malibu LTZ with Chevrolet MyLink. KBB called it one of the most user-friendly multimedia interfaces on the market. Malibu LT with 10 standard airbags, more than Fusion or Sonata. And Malibu LS offering an EPA-estimated 34 mpg highway. The all-new Malibu. Now lease this Malibu LS with zero down for around $233 a month.
How I Met Your Mother tomorrow at 8. Wait for it. On WGN America.
Are you looking for a way to make your business stand out from the competition? Of course you are. Host your best customers and guests in a private suite at Wrigley Field. The Nuveen Investment Suites can accommodate anywhere from 15 to 55 guests.
Ground ball to third. Valbuena will get Marte.
Yes, he did. And in these suites, you're going to get food, all you can drink beverages, and parking. And I've heard parking can be a problem in that city of Chicago. To book your premier experience at the ballpark, visit Cubs.com/suites or call 773-404-4200.
Home opener will be a week from today, April 8th, here on WGN. The Brewers and Cubs. It's 12:30 for next year is here.
It's probably not too early to look at the 10-day forecast, is it? Have you done that?
I have not. I've been trying to get through today. Tom Skilling will
check in with
I'm
Tom.
sure
Yeah.
have all the details on what it looks like next Monday. Garrett Jones reached on an error his first time. The Cubs overshift once again. They leave Castro at short and put Valbuena over with Lillibridge. Valbuena came up as a second baseman, so it's an easy transition for him in this spot. Foul tip, strike two, 1-2.
Even if the personnel weren't different, even if your third baseman hadn't played some second base, it makes sense when you just consider that typically your shortstop has better range than your third baseman. So if you're going to make one guy cover an entire side of the infield, you might as well make it your shortstop. He's got the better range. He's used to making that throw from the left side.
Samardzija with a 2-2. Lillibridge gets another chance. This time he will get Jones. Well, if you look at what Samardzija and Burnett have done against their respective opponents today, you would not expect a lot of runs to be scored. Samardzija 3-0 lifetime with a 1.16 against the Pirates, and Burnett 6-1 with a 3.04 against the Cubs.
Couple that with a cold day, tough for the hitters to get a good feel at the plate, and you're seeing some dominant pitching now. As we mentioned, a lot of times you get through that first inning, and Burnett got touched hard by Rizzo. Samardzija had the leadoff walk, but other than that, he's been really crisp.
Quickly 0-2 on McCutchen.
Little cutter slides to the outside edge, top of the zone. Oh, Barry went out there. Whoop. Yeah, reached back for a little something extra there. That one clocked at 97 miles an hour. He didn't hit his spot. They were trying to go out away from McCutchen. You get that little extra velocity. Sometimes you sacrifice command. Whoop.
Okay. A little whiff there on the throw back from the catcher.
It's a good thing he wasn't like a receiver or something in college. I don't know if there's any DBs that he played against that are watching this game going, really? You couldn't drop it when you burnt me that time?
Swing and a miss. Got him on the breaking ball to end the inning. Cubs lead 2-0 after 3.
When you you get heartburn, it's too late for Prilosec. It takes at least 24 hours for full effect, but it's never too late for Zantac. Its fast-release acid blockers relieve heartburn in as little as 30 minutes. No pill works faster. When heartburn strikes, try Zantac.
Domino's makes pizza fast, 30 minutes or less. Hot, fast, cheesy goodness.
Domino's used to be all about speed. Not anymore. We're slowing down to make our handmade pan pizza the right way, taking longer to hand press the fresh dough into the pan, adding not 1 but 2 layers of cheese. And we had to slow our ovens down to get that golden crust on the bottom of it. It does take a little bit longer to make, but it makes all the difference.
Try a handmade pan pizza with 2 toppings for just $7.99.
You are getting hungry! Hungry!
License and registration, please. What's this?
It's my Geico Insurance ID card, sir. It's digital. Pretty cool, right?
Maybe. You know why I pulled you over today?
Because I'm a pig driving a convertible.
Tail lights out. Fix it.
Digital insurance ID cards. Just a click away with the Geico mobile app.
Many women may not be absorbing the calcium they take as well as they could because they don't take it with food. Switch to CitraCal Maximum Plus D. It's the only calcium supplement that can be taken with or without food. My doctor recommends CitraCal Maximum. It's all about absorption.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. Jeff Samardzija had to work out of a first inning jam because of a walk and an error, but the strikeout pitch has been good for him, as for A.J. Burnett. 12 strikeouts combined through 3 innings.
Yeah, just 1 walk issued Samardzija to start the ball game. Walked Marte. Burnett has not walked anybody, so that's what you expect on opening day. You got the ace of each staff out there on the hill. I suspect you're going to see a low-run game. Last time the Pirates and the Cubs got together on opening day in Pittsburgh back in the 70s, it was a 1-0 game. Rick Russell and John Candelaria, a game that took less than 2 hours to play.
Sherholtz singled his first time up as a Cub. Glad you mentioned Rick Russell. A.J. Burnett is the oldest pitcher to start for the Pirates on opening day since Russell back in '86. He was nearing 37 years old at that time.
Big Daddy, he had a nice long career. He pitched about 20 years in the big leagues.
Starting in 1972 with the Cubs. Two and one on Sherholtz.
That's a sign of a good fastball there when you got a hitter in a dead red count, 2 balls, no strikes, and you can still throw the fastball right by him.
One got away from Burnett. 3-1. Off day tomorrow. Wednesday night, Edwin Jackson makes his Cub debut against lefty Wandy Rodriguez. And then we're back here on WGN on Thursday. It's lunch with the Cubs. Brunch with the Cubs, we'll call it. 11:30 Chicago time. Travis Wood and James McDonald. We could put the long sleeves away for the weekend. We'll be off to Atlanta starting Friday. So 11:30 Central Time, Cubs and Pirates on Thursday.
Atlanta's going to be the hub of sporting activity with the Final Four there. The Masters will be getting ready to crank up. And of course, Cubs Braves. Wrigleyville Rooftops has premier seating for up to 200 guests for corporate gatherings, family reunions, and bachelor or bachelorette parties. Individual and group tickets are available for all games. For more details, WrigleyvilleRooftops.com or roof.
Beautiful shot of downtown Pittsburgh. Big sellout crowd here at PNC as Sherholtz takes off and Castillo bounds it foul.
Cubs playing a little hit and run there, creating some movement on the infield. Castillo really wore out left-handed pitching last year, really struggled against righties. So that's going to be the challenge for him as he tries to claim his spot as an everyday or mostly everyday catcher in the big leagues. Find a way to produce a little bit better against right-handed pitching. There you see the breakdown.
One ball, one strike. Castillo really stepped up after Giovanni Soto was traded to Texas. There's some questions of whether or not Castillo would grab that job and be the guy. He's worked very hard on his defense, still working on framing pitches. He's always been known as an offensive catcher. I think working with Deoner Navarro will help him as well. Great catching instructors and Mike Borzello and Jamie Quirk.
Talked about the improvement, and there you see it graphically after the break. A 279 hitter, just a little above 200 prior.
Two balls and a strike.
Back into a running count. 2 balls, 1 strike. If Dale wants to put a play on, this would be a good count. After the leadoff walk, you know Burnett's going to be inclined to challenge here, give Castillo something he should be able to put in play.
And he is running and he is swinging. Right field, Garrett Jones over into the corner, still back on it. It's off the wall. Sherholtz will head to third. He had to make sure that ball wasn't going to be caught. It's a double for Castillo.
Well, a little hit and run play, and it turns into a double for Castillo as he drives this ball the other way out the bat. It looked like it was going to be kind of a routine fly ball to right field, but this ball really carries. Belly button high, outer third. It's a big yard, but you know, if it's friendly anywhere, it's right down this right field line. 320 down the line. It's a 21-foot high wall in honor of Roberto Clemente, who obviously wore number 21 here during his Hall of Fame career. Chance to do a little damage at the bottom of the order.
Cornermen in, back up the middle for Valbuena. Inside for a ball. Second and third, no outs. Let's look at last year's run expectancy. The Cubs didn't come through nearly enough. Should almost be a gimme in this spot to at least get a run.
Middle infielders stay back. Ground ball to either short or second. Will get one home.
Well, Valbuena becomes pretty key, right? Because you've got first base open. You said the bottom of the order. If he can't get him home, then you've got the 8-hitter. Gives Burnett a little leeway. It was a very defensive swing on a 1-1.
That was the swing of a player who's looking just to make contact, just to put the ball in play, which you normally see on a 2-strike approach. But you can almost crawl inside Valbuena's head here. He's saying, I cannot afford to punch out here. Just trying to quiet that lower body a little bit, use the hands. Normally you're not going to be overly aggressive coming from third base in this situation with nobody out.
And he got him. So that's out number 1. Strikeout number 8.
Well, this has been a go-to pitch for him. He's gotten at least 3 in there now with that down and in breaking pitch to left-handed hitters. Now Clint Hurdle will pull his infield in. David Bell, third base coach, with instructions for Shearholtz. Pitcher on deck. He's likely going on contact here.
Smothered by Martin, who nearly was Team Canada's shortstop. Russell Martin took a little heat because he bowed out of the WBC after being told by Team Canada and the Pirates, yeah, we'd rather you not play shortstop. You're a catcher.
He said, well, I can go catch in the Pirate camp.
Okay, you're a pitcher. You see a hitter do that on the you what?
Well, just his swings today. You know, he was late on fastballs his first time up, so you know he's obviously not seeing the ball very well. So you're in a peculiar position because as the pitcher, you've got 8-9 here, and you don't want to deal with the Jesus. So you want to get Lillibridge and Samardzija. But right now, there's nothing about Lillibridge's at bats that have convinced you that you have to throw him strikes.
Fouled back.
He's in chase mode, and as an 8-hole hitter with the pitcher on deck and 2 strikes or 2 outs rather, you know, you have to be willing to expand your zone to try to drive in runs. With 1 out, not so much. You know, a walk doesn't kill you in this situation. This isn't one of those, I'm going to expand my zone to drive the run in because the pitcher's on deck, because there's only 1 out.
Big 1-2 here, and Martin able to keep it in front of him. That's a nice play by Russell Martin.
Boy, sure is. Quick feed. That's a difficult ball to block there. That hard slider. And the catchers get into troubles when they try to reach with the glove and try to backhand that ball, but it's all about the quick feet. Russell Martin, who probably played a little goaltender growing up in Canada. And some nice goaltending skills there and saving a run for now.
Brings up a 2-2. Strike 3 swinging. 9 now for Burnett. And it'll have to be up to Samardzija.
Every out he has recorded since the first inning has been with a strikeout.
That's only 2 outs the Cubs have made in the game have not been strikeouts. They were ground outs. Struck out the side in the second, struck out 3 in the third. Trying to do the same again here in the fourth. I don't think AJ liked that call. Body language said it all. We'll see if Pitch Tracks liked it.
Might have caught that corner. Borderline.
On the ground, fair ball picked up by Alvarez, and Burnett escapes. A fist pump from AJ Burnett. Still 2-0 Cubs.
More priceless moments, more adventures, more lovable animals. Get more. Bucketheads, British Biting, Kangaroo Confrontation, Baby Blubber, Freak Accidents, Goofy Golf, and Kitten Chaos. Get more of what you love. 4 full hours of America's Funniest Home Video starts tonight at 7 on WGN America.
I typed my name and date of birth, and step by step, decades were crossed. When I was lost, my ancestry tree showed me the way that led to you, and I saw you coming home. With the world's largest online collection of family history records, exploring your family's past has never been easier. Simply type in a name at Ancestry.com. Who will you discover?
Domino's makes pizza fast, 30 minutes or less. Hot, fast, cheesy goodness.
Domino's used to be all about speed. Not anymore. We're slowing down to make our handmade pan pizza the right way, taking longer to hand press the fresh dough into the pan, adding not 1 but 2 layers of cheese. And we had to slow our ovens down to get that golden crust on the bottom of it. It does take a little bit longer to make, but it makes all the difference.
Try a handmade pan pizza with 2 toppings for just $7.99.
You are getting hungry! Hungry!
Let's take a look at the Cubs' forward upcoming schedule. 2 more here in Pittsburgh Wednesday and Thursday. We'll have the series finale on WGN, and then off to Atlanta for the weekend. Ford, go further in any one of Ford's many fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. Jeff Samardzija looked very good here early on. A.J. Burnett gave up a first inning 2-run homer, but has been tremendous since. Pedro Alvarez will start it for the Pirates. A guy you certainly like to face with nobody on base. Was not the case in the first inning. Alvarez came up with runners at first and third, and he struck out.
Samardzija consistently 94, 95 miles an hour with that fastball. Today we saw one at 97. And a lot of baseball people will talk about a shutdown inning after your team scores or has a big inning. That's really important for the pitcher to go out there and post a 0. And I'm not sure that argument has merit. I think it's just, post a bunch of 0s, you're going to have a good year. You're going to win a lot of games, whether they come after your team scores or not. But you could really make the argument it's more important in an inning like this, when your team had a golden opportunity to score, didn't cash in, and the air gets out of the balloon a little bit in the dugout when you had a chance to expand the lead. Now, don't let the Pirates come out and take advantage and put a run or 2 on the board.
Here's his 1-2, and Alvarez with a rollover bouncer to Rizzo. And he'll flip to the pitcher.
In so many ways, that's the definition of an ace pitcher, a guy who just covers up for all the mistakes of his teammates. If they're not scoring, if they're kicking the ball around, the opportunities go by the board. Your ace is the guy that says, don't worry about it, boys, I got you. Hop on my shoulders, I'll take care of us today.
Jeff went the distance on 120 pitches in his last regular season start on September 8th, a 4-3 win here. Gave up just 4 hits, struck out 9, allowed 3 runs, 2 earned. He's trying to pick up right where he left off. Gloved by Starlin Castro, and he gets Sanchez. 2 outs.
And I think that's the real story with Samardzija, is the way he finished last year. Because remember, that was his first year as a full-time starting pitcher in the league. So you look at the numbers overall, 9-13 with a 3.81 ERA. And you say, well, that's not an ace of the staff type stuff. It's better than league average ERA, but it's not glittering. Well, when you consider what he did in the second half, as he kind of found himself out there. 2.58 ERA, 5th best in the National League second half of the season, 7th best in Major League Baseball, 210 batting average against him after the break last year.
Yeah, I think it really had a lot to do with him using his other pitches to get out of jams and not feeling like when he got in trouble he had to just go back to his fastball.
Learning how to pitch, not just throw, not just rely on your stuff. And as a reliever, you can do that. You can just play the power game, not really locate quite as much if you throw 97 miles an hour. with a good splitter, and you could do that as a relief pitcher, but as a starter, you got to mix in more breaking balls. You have to command the fastball a little bit better so you can compete 3, sometimes 4 times through the batting order.
Neil Walker, a Pittsburgh native, playing for his hometown team, son of a former big league pitcher, Tom Walker. Two and two. He's actually a converted catcher. Moved to third base 6 years ago. And now playing second. Walker actually hit a game-winning grand slam on opening day against the Cubs at Wrigley Field 2 years ago, joining the aforementioned and the late Hall of Famer Roberto Clemente. He's the only 2 Pirates to hit a grand slam on opening day. 3-2 on the way, and ball 4. They will appeal, and he went. Strike 3. So Chris Guccione rings up Neil Walker from third base. Strikeout number 6 for Samardzija. Still 2-0. Cubs may have gotten a break.
This engine's got some juice. How far do you want to take it?
Up to you. Chevy Cruiser's 6-speed transmission allows for lower shift points, offering an EPA estimated 36 mpg highway.
Okay, then. What a test drive.
Yeah, it's really more of a road trip at this point.
Yeah.
Chevy MPG Ingenuity. Now get this great sign and drive lease on a 2013 Chevy Cruze LS for around $199 a month.
This is Kevin. To prove to you that a leave is the better choice for him, he's agreed to give it up.
It's today?
We'll be with him all day as he goes back to taking Tylenol.
I was okay, but after lunch my knee started to hurt again, and now I gotta take more pills. Yeah? Another pill stop. Can I get my leave back yet? For my pain, I want my leave.
Look for the Easy Open Red Arthritis Cap.
Open up to a fresh new world of taste at McDonald's. Introducing the new Premium McWrap. A blend of tender, juicy chicken and tantalizing fresh veggies in 3 captivating flavors. More than enough to pull you in.
Cherry berry chiller?
The new Premium McWrap. A whole new way to love McDonald's.
Wednesday, baseball is back on WGN America as the White Sox host the Royals. White Sox, Royals, Wednesday 2 East on WGN America. Tonight, WGN America is giving you a taste of CW's hit show, The Vampire Diaries.
Go grab some lunch.
The Vampire Diaries, tonight at 11 on WGN America.
Strikeouts, the order of the day here at PNC Park. Both A.J. Burnett and Jeff Samardzija have the strikeout pitch working today. Boy, if you're keeping a scorecard at home, and if you do it like I do, you mark the strikeouts in red, and there's a lot of red ink on that scorecard this afternoon. Overpowering stuff from these hard-throwing right-handers. And mixing in the secondary pitches as well for Burnett, that curveball, occasional hard slider. Samardzija, the splitty, slider, cut fastball. Nice day for the pitchers here this afternoon. 4 innings, 1 hit, no runs, a walk, and 6 punch-outs for Samardzija. Burnett struck out 9, and now looks like there's a little bit of an issue.
We have an exploded rosin bag.
Somebody's playing an April Fool's joke here. Burnett's walking off the field. He's not going to stand for it. He's not going to. He's covered in rosin.
Well, not quite the same, but I got powdered sugar off my pancakes all over myself yesterday, so it's kind of a similar
looks like
deal.
Looks like he's doing a magic act out there. All of a sudden, he's this big puff of smoke.
Okay, then.
You know, back in the day, the guys used to throw the puff ball they would get a whole bunch of rosin in their hand, and when they threw the ball, it would come out of this cloud of white behind the ball. And AJ may have been able to take it to a new extreme there. I've never seen that happen, ever.
So DeJesus leading off an inning for the 3rd time today. And he has struck out twice. Ball 1.
I'm guessing there aren't a lot of hat tricks on David's resume. Usually count on him to put the ball in play.
1 ball, 1 strike. All about routine. He and Anthony Rizzo have their breakfast club where they work out at the same time every day, trying to get into that in-season routine. David's all about controlling the things you can control and not worrying a bit about everything else. As he lines out, the 5th inning is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, creating contemporary solutions for a better banking experience for everyone. Fifth Third Bank, the curious bank. Member FDIC. Cold but dry and not damp.
Somebody said it was in the 20s in Minnesota today.
Wouldn't surprise me.
We're just getting started.
Castro already 2 for 2. Curveball for a strike. Hey, it's Dan Roan, everybody. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Checking out our view of downtown Pittsburgh from high atop PNC Park. Castro chased a bad one. 1-2. It was a decent year for Starlin. You know, you saw the 14 homers, JD, but I think he considers himself a 300 hitter. I'm sure he thought a lot about it over the winter.
Yeah, well, and, you know, what he considers himself and then ultimately what he becomes, it's going to be interesting because there's a lot of folks that think there's more power in there. And, you know, if he could be a guy, he'd become a 25 to 30 home run guy. For me, I would sacrifice some average to do that. You know, show more patience, work deeper counts, take bigger swings in cripple counts, work more walks. You become a more complete hitter. You know, you can't argue with a guy that's 200 hits and can run around the bases, steal bags for you, but I think that power's in there.
Called strike 3. An emphatic call by Tom Hallion, and Burnett's up into double digits.
Castro won the first 2 battles between these two. Burnett with a measure of revenge here, and that ball just off the outside edge, borderline. Can go either way, and this time it goes to the benefit of A.J. Burnett. You can understand, you can just, you know, put yourself in Castro's position, trying to be more patient, so he takes a borderline pitch and it gets rung up, so next time he'll probably be hacking. Everybody tells me to be patient, work counts, and then I get rung up on that.
One-0 to Rizzo at the knees. Getting into double digits is not a big deal for A.J. Burnett. He's done it a lot in his career. His career high in strikeouts, 14. He's done that twice, but it's been a while. 2004 and 2005. Ground ball to second. Walker up with it. The Cubs go down in order for the second time today. However, they lead 2-0 in the fifth.
To you actually looking like your profile picture.
Do you not having a face tattoo? Full face.
Thank you.
To online dating, actually working for once.
Here we go.
Here we go.
The crisp, refreshing taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Domino's makes pizza fast, 30 minutes or less. Hot, fast, cheesy goodness.
Domino's used to be all about speed. Not anymore. We're slowing down to make our handmade pan pizza the right way. Taking longer to hand press the fresh dough into the pan, adding not 1 but 2 layers of cheese. And we had to slow our ovens down to get that golden crust on the bottom of it. It does take a little bit longer to make, but it makes all the difference.
Try a handmade pan pizza with 2 toppings for just $7.99.
You are getting hungry.
Need help keeping your digestive balance in sync? Try Align. It's the #1 GE recommended probiotic that helps maintain digestive balance. Stay in the groove with Align. Need help keeping your digestive balance in sync? Try Align. It's a probiotic that fortifies your digestive system with healthy bacteria 24/7. Because your insides set the tone. Stay in the groove with Align.
Hey, is the table finished?
Yeah, you betcha, honey.
Oh, you think so?
Some mornings, you just can't eat at the table. Eggo wafflers are packed with flavors like brown sugar cinnamon roll, so you don't need syrup. Eggo wafflers, simply delicious.
Cubs, Pirates, Thursday at 12:30 East on WGN America.
It's the end of an era.
All that spare change I used to get.
Sorry, I spilled Bud Light on you.
I wrote a song. Sorry. Here we go.
The crisp, refreshing taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
The fifth inning is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, creating contemporary solutions for a better banking experience for everyone. Fifth Third Bank, the curious bank. Member FDIC. The Cubs lead 2-0 as Russell Martin takes ball 1.
Ooh, good pitch there.
First inning homer from Anthony Rizzo, 438 feet, just to the right of center field. We've gone to the 9th in Washington. Bryce Harper's 2 solo home runs have held up against the Marlins. 2-0. Rafael Soriano is on. Martin broke his bat. That helped out Castro. That bat doesn't break. That ball might get into center field.
MLB.TV is celebrating 11 years. How about that? Join the millions of fans and subscribe today. Watch every out-of-market game live online on your favorite mobile and connected devices in HD quality with MLB.TV Premium. Visit MLB.TV today. MLB.TV. Baseball everywhere. .TV.
It's 10 in a row retired by Samardzija.
10 in a row. So the only ball that's left the infield off of him today is that single by Walker, right? That punch single to left field.
Yeah. It's their only hit. Popped up by Barmes. And Castillo makes the catch. He almost discarded his mask too early on the back pedal there. He missed running into that mask by about 2 feet.
Yeah, of all the elements we were concerned about in today's game, sun really wasn't at the top of our list, but it became a little problematic here for Castillo. Drops his mask. Could have been in harm's way. A little bobble, but all's well that ends well. Yeah, this is a sign of a dominant performance. Punch outs, pop-ups, shattered bat of Martin here to start the inning. Not a lot of solid contact from the Pirate hitters off Samardzija here this afternoon. If you think about it, the one base hit they have, if you recall, it was Walker picking on that high fastball. It wasn't a bad pitch. They were trying to go way up there on him, and Walker just able to get on top of it and hit a line drive to left field.
Foul tip, strike 3. Samardzija strong today, leading 2-0 after 5.
On Rules of Engagement, there are relationship rules.
Oh my God. What happened?
I was hungry.
I meant in my life.
Comedy rules.
Hey, is there smoking allowed in here?
No. Is someone smoking?
Yes, you are.
Rules of Engagement, Wednesdays at 8 on WGN America.
When you get heartburn, it's too late for Prilosec. It takes at least 24 hours for full effect. But it's never too late for Zantac. Its fast-release acid blockers relieve heartburn in as little as 30 minutes. No pill works faster. When heartburn strikes, try Zantac.
I chose Comfort Medical for the simple reason that they seemed to be the only company that really heard what I was saying and sent me the right type of device that I needed to help me. They interfaced with my doctor and the insurance company to make sure that I got what I needed. There was no out-of-pocket costs with Comfort Medical. Comfort Medical definitely aided me in the decision on which direction I wanted to go in for the catheter that I use.
Comfort Medical carries a wide array of male catheters. Call today for free samples of catheters that may be right for you, including the discreet men's pocket catheter. Call now and we'll send you a free comfort kit with your first order while supplies last. Call right now.
They seemed very key to what my true needs were, and they actually listened to me, which gave me the confidence I needed to change my life. I truly believe it's a home run.
Call now for free samples and a free comfort kit. 1-800-718-8943. That's 1-800-718-8943.
After we stay 2 times at a hotel, who wants a free night? Free night! Free!
You ask for free, we give you free. Right now, when you book at these Choice Hotels, take 2 separate trips and you can earn 1 night free. Book now at choicehotels.com.
Time now to look at our BMW in-game box score. A couple of hits for Castro and the big homer by Rizzo in the first. Be prepared for inclement weather this season with a BMW 3 Series with X-Drive all-wheel drive technology. Visit your local Chicagoland or Northwest Indiana BMW Center today to test drive one. The daily pierogi race, and this was a marathon.
Yeah, they make them work for it. They run a long way, and it was a close finish, Len. Check it out.
I don't have all the names, but the one with the red cap and the one with the yellow cap finished first and second.
I'm not a big pierogi fan. You eat many pierogis in your day?
Yeah. My mom makes a great pierogi.
Maybe I just haven't had a good pierogi. It might be the.
Well, we've got an off day tomorrow. I think you should find one here in Pittsburgh. You've been over to Permane Brothers, haven't you?
Put gravy on it. I don't think I want to eat it. I've been to Permane Brothers. I think they're overrated too.
Well, you're a tough customer.
But that's the institution here in Pittsburgh, Permane Brothers, with the fries and the slaw on the sandwich.
Right out in front of the plate, Burnett will gather it. Well, I'd like to tell you, I've had a lot of Permane Brothers before the stroke of midnight, but I'd be lying if I said that. That's a good late night snack. And then you pay for it in the morning.
Yeah, I like my fries and slaw on the side. But
now, if you ask them to do that, would they do it?
I don't know. I don't know. It's a little daunting, you know. That they're so famous for doing it that way. You always feel like you're kind of going to offend somebody if you ask for it with the fries on the side.
I'm in. Almost hit Scherholz. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Just to make it that much healthier, they throw it on that big slab of white bread.
Made with a single and a walk, stranded at third back in the fourth when the Cubs could not get that third run. It is a final in D.C. 2-0 the Nationals win on 2 Bryce Harper home runs. Steven Strasburg over Ricky Nolasco. Strasburg went 7 innings.
Back-to-back first-round picks. Harper and Strasburg paying off. It's going to be interesting to see what Strasburg does now that he's been unshackled, what he'll do for a full season of 200 or so innings of work.
Yeah, only 80 pitches today. Get through his 7 innings.
Ooh,
that one had to hurt. Not showing it though.
Well, hopefully they got a little bit more muscle than bone, but this is kneecap, shin bone. He would have been down. Yeah, maybe towards the back of that lower leg. 3 trips, 3 times on base for Nate today.
Castillo, who's 1 for 2 with a double.
This is the combination they played hit and run with last time, and Castillo ended up hitting that double high off the wall down the right field line.
Front door breaking ball, never did come back and catch the corner. Action in the Pirates bullpen, left-hander Justin Wilson.
A couple lefties out there that Clint Hurdle could call on, Wilson and Watson. Remade Pirate bullpen. Jason Grilli is now the closer.
Traded Joel Hanrahan to Boston over the winter as Ray Searage, a pitching coach, is going to head out.
Command starting to wobble a little bit here for Burnett with the hit batter, and then misfiring to Castillo badly with that last offering as he gets close to 100 pitches. The level of concern goes up in the Pirate dugout. Buy a little time for Wilson. Chicago Cubs are committed to a new season. Are you? Tickets are available throughout the season, especially for the opening week matchups against the Brewers, world champion Giants, and Rangers. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. That should be a fun homestand.
There are still tickets available for the home opener next Monday. Edwin Jackson will get the start in the home opener. Samardzija will pitch twice, including today, on this road trip. His next start will be Sunday. Fouled back, 2-1.
That's that big swing I was talking about earlier in the game. But, you know, 2 balls, no strikes. After a visit from the pitching coach, you know, he said, hey, keep that front side in. Just throw a good strike, get back into the count. Something to that effect. Castillo trying to take advantage of that aggressive fastball, put a good swing on it, just couldn't quite get the head out in front. And that's treating Sherholtz like he's Lou Brock today.
There he goes. And a fly ball out into deep right center. Garrett Jones will not get there. Sherholtz is going to be set by David Bell. Relay throw will be made. Not in time. And now they have Castillo caught between second and third. Martin just running right at him. And a walker to Alvarez. So that's the second out, but he gets an RBI to make it 3-0.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic. We talk so much about hit and run play, starting base runners to create holes on the infield, and each time that this combination has worked, Castillo, never mind punching a ball through the infield, he banged one off the right field wall for a double. This time he goes to the alley in right center field. Easier read for Schierholtz this time, and he just keeps on chugging all the way around to score the third run of the game, and a little bit of a brain cramp there for Castillo, too aggressively making the turn, and pays a price, but a big RBI double for him.
That will end A.J. Burnett's afternoon. So he will leave trailing 3-0. He did strike out 10. We'll be back in a moment.
Why is Kellogg's Crunchy Nuts so delicious? Because every flake is double toasted, splashed with sweet honey, and covered in rich double roasted peanuts.
Yummy.
Kellogg's Crunchy Nuts. It's super delicious.
When you get heartburn, it's too late for Prilosec. It takes at least 24 hours for full effect, but it's never too late for Zantac. Its fast-release acid blockers relieve heartburn in as little as 30 minutes. No pill works faster. When heartburn strikes, try Zantac.
The all-new Malibus are getting a lot of attention at your Chevy dealer lately for good reason, like Malibu LTZ with Chevrolet MyLink. KBB called it one of the most user-friendly multimedia interfaces on the market. Malibu LT with 10 standard airbags, more than Fusion or Sonata, and Malibu LS offering an EPA-estimated 34 mpg highway. The all-new Malibu. Now lease this Malibu LS with zero down for around $233 a month.
I asked you a question. I don't kill for myself. Don't try and con me. There's no way you could get away with it. I'm starting to think that this death was staged.
Look, bing, reality.
Intent, weekdays at 5.